Efficiency ratios are related with the efficiency of business in different areas. In business syllabus, we actually learn two types of efficiencies. One is related with the inventory, and second is related with the debtors or receivables. When we talk about the inventory, it means that we are talking about the sale of our inventory. Any business that is selling inventory quickly, more in a lesser time period, will be considered more efficient as compared to the business that is selling inventory late. For example, there are two businesses selling rice or wheat or something, any perishable or natural item. The business who is selling inventory in 15 days will be considered more efficient as compared to the business selling in 6 months or 9 months or 12 months. This is the efficiency of the business. We measure it in two ways. One, we measure it in ratios, and second, we measure it in days. For the measurement of the ratio, we use cost of goods sold divided by value of inventory. Please remember that there is no 100 in this formula. Although this we write it in ratio, but we do not put the 100 into the formula. Otherwise, when we are calculating ratios, we just multiply anything with times 100. But in this formula, we are not multiplying. Please remember this in paper 2. Okay, then we calculate it in days too. And so what we do in calculation of days, we simply flip the formula. We simply use the other side of the formula, and what we do is cost of value of inventory divided by cost of sales times 365. For example, two types of ratios we have calculated. For the days, we have calculated that there is a business who business A that has inventory turnover ratio in days of 13 days, and that has the ratio of 89%. This is, for example, data that the business B that has days ratio of 96 days, for example, and the ratio is only 12%, for example, 12, for example. Okay, the business A has lesser days. That's why business A is performing better. The efficiency of business A is improved. It means business A is quickly selling inventory, quickly selling and buying inventory, and inventory cycle is shorter, and ratio is also high. That also shows that business A is performing better. But when it comes to the business B, its days are 96, its ratio is 12. In both of the ways, business B is performing poor. There are many things attached with this buying and selling of inventory. If we keep inventory for too much number of days and months, there are likely chances of inventory getting outdated. There are likely chances that inventory will become obsolete. There are likely chances that we will not have fresh stock when consumer want to buy fresh stock. But if we are selling and buying inventory quickly, we are keeping our cycle of the inventory shorter. It means we are performing better. Okay, the second ratio that is calculated for the purpose of efficiency is receivable ratios. For accounts receivable, we again have two formulas. First, accounts receivable ratio. The formula for accounts receivable ratio is sales turnover divided by trade receivable. And similarly, if we want to calculate account receivable in days, how we calculate? The name is days sales and receivable ratio. The formula will just a flip side of this formula, trade receivable divided by sales turnover time 365. What this ratio measures, my dear kids, this ratio measures that how quickly we have received payments from our receivables. You need to notice that, you need to remember that most of the sales in business environment are done on credit, 1 month credit, 2 month credit, 3 month credit. Now, Hassan is doing a business in which there is a customer whose name is Mohsen. Mohsen comes and says, Hassan, please sell me the 500 bags of rice and I'll pay you in 5 months. Okay, if Hassan is an intelligent businessman, Hassan will say, okay, receive 100 bags from me and pay me in 1 month. In this way, he is doing two favors to himself. He is improving his business efficiency in two ways. One, his amount is not being bound for 5 months, and secondly, his cash flow is improving because after every month he'll receive payment and he'll buy his own inventory from where he will have to. So this ratio is also measured in two ways. One is in days and second is in ratio. There is business A that has days of 27, for example, and ratio is 80, for example. There is a business B that has days of 87, for example, and a ratio of 15, for example. The business B is performing poorly in both ways, and the business A is performing good in both ways. Uh, Days 27 shows that within less than 1 month time period, the business A receives payments from its buyers and buy the new inventory and sells it again. And ratio also shows that business is 80% faster in the ratio efficiency is 80% improved as compared to the other businesses, and B is performing poor in both ways. So this is the way we calculate efficiency ratios.